as close as a partner, and National Petroleum Authority, NPA, where customer care meets excellence.
Well, good morning. It's a week after our 1-year anniversary, so we wish you well. A happy weekend to all of us. It's a wonderful Saturday morning, and as usual, current agenda meets you in your home. We're bringing you the issues that we've been discussing, from Parliament to the courtroom to your community. Everything that we've been discussing this morning, we'll be serving them to you right this morning. So make sure you have your cup of tea available with you, next to you, your hot cocoa, and listen to the panel digest the issues. What we have for you today, well, a new global info analytics poll suggests former sports minister Neil van der Poy is the early front runner to become the next national chairman of the governing NDC. What is driving this appeal among delegates? Is this an early popularity contest, or is it a signal of the direction the party intends to take in government? We'll be having pollster Musa Dankwa join us this morning to break down the numbers and then also discuss the politics behind it. Musa Dankwa normally doesn't want to discuss the politics, so the rest of us will do the discussion of the politics behind the numbers. Also on the table this morning, we'll be telling the story between Dennis Miracles Abuaji and the EOCO, who is speaking the truth. The former executive secretary of the Interministerial Coordinating Committee on Decentralization insists that EOCO never, I repeat, never questioned him on the allegations of the 55 million misappropriation. EOCO, on the other hand, however, says it has uncovered significant new evidence linking him to suspected fraud and theft that involves that amount of the 55 million, and that he was already under investigation and under travel restriction. We'll be examining how these two conflicting stories or accounts and seeing which facts cross over from each side and then try and make some meaning. Then also we'll look at the new famous tribunal bill that has been passed in Parliament, the 2026 Tribunals Bill. It's paved the way for the return of tribunals under a new legal framework. Government is saying that the law will improve access to justice and strengthen the judiciary. But the minority disagrees. They are arguing that the efforts being put into having this tribunal should rather be put to focus on strengthening the existing courts. The question we'll be asking this morning is, are the new tribunals necessary, or do they risk opening old political debates. Meanwhile, the Attorney General has withdrawn an application to revoke the travel clearance that was granted to the former NAFCO chief. If you remember him, Hanan Abdul Wahab was supposed to travel some weeks ago, and then there was some revocation, and then he was prevented from traveling. Now, after the court order permitting his travel expired, the Attorney General says that they are revoking that. Now, this move comes days after his rearrest, if you remember, at the airport. And now it brings about fresh questions about the prosecutorial strategy being used by prosecutors and how they handle high-profile criminal cases. We'll be delving into it. We have a lot of legal brains on the panel this morning. We'll be looking into it. Stay tuned with us. We would have this in-depth analysis. And as you know, Current Agenda will always serve you what you deserve. Remember, this is your voice, your power. So don't stop sending your views, your opinions, your comments on our social media platforms, on our WhatsApp numbers. It will be streaming down there. Send your comments, send your contributions, and we'll do well to read them on set. We'll be right back after this break. Well, welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Current Agenda is proudly sponsored by Bank of Africa. Bank of Africa says that it's as close as a partner and as strong as a group. So this morning, on my reflections, within the course of the week, we heard of a TikToker that has been sentenced to jail for 1 year, Kamila Al-Hassan. And this morning, I would want to share my view on the sentencing of this TikToker, Kamila Hassan, to a 1 year prison term. Now, this has reignited a national debate on free speech. It's on misinformation and then the limits of expression in Ghana's democracy. It's a very important discussion this morning. Now, if you heard earlier, there's the Accra High Court, a Circuit Court convicted her after she pleaded guilty to publishing false news and engaging in offensive conduct. Her offense was posting a TikTok video or a series of TikTok videos that the President John Mahama sacrificed 32 cows in rituals to secure victory in the 2024 elections. 32 cows. These allegations, the prosecution described as entirely baseless and unsupported by evidence. And as a result of that, the court spoke and the rule of law was implemented and must be respected. And so we respect it. We are not challenging the decision. But what we are asking is, beyond the verdict, there's a bigger question. Have we treated the disease, or are we only working on the symptom? Are we treating the disease, or we are just dealing with a symptom? You see, for years, Ghana's political space has grown increasingly toxic. Social media has become a battleground where propaganda, insults, fabricated stories, lies, and character assassination are used as political tools. Now, this culture did not just emerge overnight. Kamila is not the first. It was and has always been a creation by both political parties. Supporters of both the NDC and the MPP have over time celebrated individuals who aggressively stay online and they defend them and they defend their party members online, even when those defenses crosses into falsehood. Even when people are personally attacking others, they defend them. In fact, we have seen many who have been rewarded with appointments, with contracts, with public praise, or even higher standings within their party. In some cases, these politicians openly applaud those who spread damaging narratives against opponents. So I ask again, is it a disease or the symptom? Yet when this same tactics is used against their own party members or against their leaders, then there's outrage. Then all of a sudden, everybody remembers his moral compass. What was once excused as politics, today or suddenly becomes a condemnable offense or a crime. Now, this double standard lies at the heart of the problem. No democracy, and I repeat, no democracy can thrive when truth becomes optional and falsehood becomes a political strategy. Neither can it thrive when misinformation is condemned selectively. Selectively depending on who the target is. If it is party A, then it is truth. If the same thing is said to party B, then it is false. The jailing of Kamila Hassan is sending a clear signal and is sending a clear warning that the law itself has consequences. The law can deter others from deliberately fabricating stories that damages the reputation or erode public trust. But will just one conviction solve that bigger problem? This problem that has been nurtured by both political parties for years. I personally don't think this is possible. What I believe is that if our political parties, if the political ecosystem continues to reward those who spread disinformation, while punishing only those whose falsehood targets their own people, especially when they are in power, then the problem will persist. Today's conviction could easily be replaced tomorrow by a partisan voice chasing attention, by a partisan voice chasing influence, of a partisan voice chasing political favor. The solution, I believe, goes beyond just a prison sentence. It requires our political leaders to reject falsehood, to consistently reject it, no matter which political party it benefits. What I think we need is a stronger digital literacy so citizens can tell facts from fiction. This calls for responsible use of social media and for the law to be enforced fairly, without fear or favor. Now, freedom of expression remains a pillar of Ghana's democracy. And as a media person, it's very important for and to me. It is never freedom if you deliberately publish lies. And we need to draw that distinction. If you deliberately publish lies, falsehood, or things that will threaten public order, you do not call that freedom of expression. Rights come with responsibilities. So now the challenge is how to strike the balance between protecting free speech while holding people accountable for intentionally misinforming others. Madam Kamila's imprisonment may be legally justified, but history will judge us whether it marked the beginning of a more responsible political discourse or whether it becomes just another isolated punishment. Is it a beginning or it's just one punishment in the entire system whilst that system keeps rewarding the very behavior it claims to condemn. This morning, my question still remains: will this be the last case of its kind? Or, until our political culture changes, is it only the first of many? I'll be right back after this break.
And stay safe. The National Petroleum Authority is cautioning the public to desist from scooping or fetching fuel from overturned fuel tankers at accident scenes. Do not get closer to the scene in an attempt to take videos or pictures. Inhaling the petroleum product is detrimental to your health. Worst of all, petroleum products are volatile and highly flammable, and a small spark can trigger a catastrophic explosion, causing deaths and loss of property. Call the Ghana Fire Service or Ghana Police personnel to handle the scene, or reach the National Petroleum Authority's contact center on 0302 550 380. Your life is worth more than a gallon of fuel. This Save a Life campaign is from the National Petroleum Authority.
From the heart of Africa we stand, building dreams across the land. Every step we take aside, helping you rise, taking you higher. Strong as a group, close as a partner. Bank of Africa lifting you higher. African Bank with global reach. BOA make your future glow. Strong as a group, close as a partner. Bank of Africa lifting you higher. African Bank with global reach. BOA make your future glow. BOA, we go there for you night and day. Strong as a group, close as a partner. Bank of Africa lifting you higher.
Bank of Africa, as strong as a group, as close as a partner.
In Ghana, football is not just a game. It is the conversation in the morning, the argument in the afternoon, and the heartbeat of the evening. From Accra to Tamale, Cape Coast to Ho, we may come from different places, but when the whistle blows, we stand as one. We watch as one. We cheer as one. And when the victory comes, we win as one.
Catch the World Cup action live on GTV Sports Plus, the home of live action.
From the heart of Africa we stand, building dreams across the land. Every step we take aside, helping you rise, taking you higher. Strong as a group, close as a partner. Bank of Africa lifting you higher. African Bank with global reach. BOA make your future glow. Strong as a group, close as a partner. Bank of Africa lifting you higher. African Bank with global reach. BOA make your future glow. BOA, we go there for you night and day. Strong as a group, close as a partner. Bank of Africa lifting you higher.
Bank of Africa, as strong as a group, as close as a partner.
Stay back and stay safe. The National Petroleum Authority is cautioning the public to desist from scooping or fetching fuel from overturned fuel tankers at accident scenes. Do not get closer to the scene in an attempt to take videos or pictures. Inhaling the petroleum product is detrimental to your health. Worst of all, petroleum products are volatile and highly flammable, and a small spark can trigger a catastrophic explosion, causing deaths and loss of property. Call the Ghana Fire Service or Ghana Police personnel to handle the scene, or reach the National Petroleum Authority's contact center on 0302 550 380. Your life is worth more than a gallon of fuel. This Save a Life campaign is from the National Petroleum Authority.
Well, welcome back. We will jump straight into our discussions. We'll first start with the recent polls that were done by Mr. Dankwa of Global Info Analytics. He's already in studio with me. Mr. Good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you're doing well.
Doing very great.
Right.
Thank you.
So we are going to just go straight into the touch screen. We'll go through your analysis that you've done. I noticed that you've done for the flag bearership, and then also you've done for the chairmanship, and you're just opposing to what you did in April compared to what we did in July.
Yeah.
So maybe let's just start with the objective. What really is the objective behind this post?
I think time has come for us to stop asking what's the objective. Opinion polls are opinion polls.
Yes.
They sample opinions of people at any point in time. The objective is to let people know what is going on, and that is all.
Okay. So the objective is, your objective is to figure out what the people are saying or what they are thinking. That's your objective.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. So I leave you to it. Let's walk us through the ones that I will need to ask questions. I'll ask questions.
Right. Just a bit of background. In March, we did what we call unprompted recall of NDC delegates who they would prefer to lead the party. During that instance, we did not offer them any names, but they told us who they intend to vote for, unprompted. When we look at the number at the end of the survey, we realized that the top 5 candidates were Nketia, Atufosin, Haruna Idrisu, Jinana Opoku, and Julius Debra.
Right.
So they were the top 5 candidates. We took them into the poll to see what people think in the second round. But when we were going to the second round, we had a call from certain quarters that certain individuals would contest.
Right.
So they want their names to be there.
Okay.
So, and these were Joshua Alabi and Eriko Poku. Even they didn't make the cut. By virtue of them calling us to say they will contest, we have no choice but to put
test their popularity as well.
Absolutely.
Right.
And that is going to continue. Going forward, if anybody somewhere there still wants to put his name there officially, you can call us.
So I can call you?
No, I mean those who are interested.
I understand. Yes.
So the second one was done in April, and the third in July.
Right.
Now we use the old album because we haven't got the new album yet. But we don't believe there will be wholesale changes in the old album. And for that matter, we are sampling it, so we can't interview everybody regardless. So we believe that the old album will still hold true.
So by album, you mean their polling station executives?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The ones we call delegates.
Delegates.
Popularly, right. Okay.
Now, so we sampled 5,637 people, delegates, from all the 16 regions.
Right.
And the regions were weighted based on the number of delegates who live in that region. Right. So highest Greater Accra, you have Ashanti region, you have Eastern region, you have Central region, in that order. So that's how they are all weighted. We use random probability sampling. Okay. The computer goes to the number and then pull a number. So we don't target anybody or any particular people in certain part of the region. Our confidence level is 99%. And margin of error is plus or minus 1.7%. It was done through computer-assisted telephone interviews. In between 8th July and 14th July was when the interviews were held.
So this report is 4 days old.
4 days old, yes.
Very fresh.
Very fresh.
And this is the first place you are showing it.
It's being aired elsewhere.
So
yes.
Okay. I was hoping to get some
the scoop. It is always important to tease out from delegate what is their priority in terms of if they are, picking someone to lead the party. What would they be looking for? Well, those are the things that will really drive who wins at the end of the day. Now, they said for them it is performance.
So just clarity, so my listeners and viewers, when we say lead party here, we're talking about the flag bearer.
The flag bearer,
right.
The flag bearer, the flag bearer. I say, look, they want somebody who has performed in whatever role that has been given to that person.
Right.
Performance for them is key. Visionary, somebody who has a vision that they can espouse to. A good servant of the government. If you are part of the government and you serve the government very well, they will reward you according to them. Or serve the party and other factors, and personality plus youth. The rest of the factors, ethnicity, religion, gender, barely not showing. So these are the top issues they are looking at for.
But these factors that were listed by you, or these were the opinions by you?
By us.
Okay, so
yes.
you give them this one.
Yes.
Okay.
If you don't want any of those we have mentioned, you choose other factors.
Other factors, okay.
So here we can see that has gone up to 44% from 20% before.
Right.
So they are looking at that issue that we didn't give to them.
But if you can go back to the slide, it's interesting that if you check in April 2026, 78% of the respondents say performance is key for them. But that number drops to 66%.
Yep.
And rather, other factors now go to 44%, which has seen a massive growth of
absolutely
plus 24%. And then all the other things are losing. Does it give any signal?
It's too early because it could mean that there are other reasons that people are really thinking about that we haven't picked up.
Okay.
But if we do, we may be able to kind of isolate those kind of reasons and put them as the main reasons.
Okay.
So that they can then choose it.
Okay, that's fair.
The big elephant in the room. In the first and second poll that we did, some delegates were telling us that, look, chairman must remain chairman. Chairman must remain chairman. So we didn't know how widespread this is. So we felt, okay, let's go and test that and see whether truly it's a big voice in that delegate base who share the same idea. So we asked them whether they agree or disagree to the call by some people that chairman must remain chairman of the party. Do you agree or you disagree? Or you have no opinion?
So in other words, should chairman continue to be the chairman,
of the
or
party,
chairman should leave and go and do something else?
Absolutely.
Right.
Look at it. In the April poll, only 42% were saying they agree that it should
remain the chairman.
Remain as chairman. 39% disagreed. 19% didn't have an opinion. Between April and July, those who agreed has shot up from 42 to 61%. So more and more people are telling us this.
Right.
And those who disagree has declined from 39% to 26%. And those who have no opinion has also declined. So they have moved. You can see that there's a movement from disagreement into agreeing.
So 61% of the delegates that were sampled think that chairman should remain
chairman of the party. Yes.
That's strong.
Again, the same delegates, and indeed some editorials, have been comparing Bawumia, an economist, with potentially outforcing the economist. And delegates were also asking the same thing. So, okay, let's check this and see whether there's another support for that concept or that notion that outforcing must represent NDC. Because he's an economist and Bawumia is an economist.
Right.
In April, 49% of them agree that Atufosun must lead NDC because he's an economist to match Bawumia, the economist. 27% disagree. 24% have no opinion. Again, now, those who agreed has gone to 58%. Disagree has declined to 23%.
Right.
And no opinion has also declined to 19%. It is following the same trajectory as the chairman.
As the chairman, right.
There's a link between this and that data.
Right. Right.
And let's see how this eventually impacted the
what
race.
this means that I'm hoping to see that when we get to the comparison between Chairman Asiedu Nketia and Ato Forson, there should be some marginal growth for Ato Forson, because now more of the people are thinking that Chairman remain Chairman.
There should be internal consistency in the data,
Right.
and that you see it here.
Right.
Who is NDC? Chairman, 27%.
Okay.
Ato Forson, 22%. Haruna Idrisu, 6%.
Right.
Jenana, 7%. Deborah, 5%. Alabi, 1%. Erobuku, 1%. Someone else, 1%. And 30% said they are undecided.
Undecided, right.
Now, let's see whether there has been an impact from the 2 points that we saw earlier. In April, Johnson and Nketia was 29%. Now down to 27%.
So in April was when 48% thought that he should be a chairman.
Yep.
And in July, 61, I think.
And that cost him 2%.
And so it confirms is that he's losing his popularity in the flag bearer by gaining popularity in wanting to be a chairman.
Absolutely.
Right.
So if we didn't see this happening, then that data we saw earlier.
It contradicts.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Data doesn't lie. Ato Forson was 19%. Now 22%, up 3%.
Which again goes to confirm the question about the economists, which has now
Increased.
shot up.
Haruna Idrisu, 11%, now 6%, down 5%. Jenna now Puku Professor, 8%, now 7%, down 1%. Julius Debra, 8%, now down 5%, minus 3%. Alabi, 1% up, Puku 1% up, someone else or others 1% up. So you could see that the huge jump in those who say chairman must be chairman and Ato must lead the party has caused these guys to lose grounds.
Right. And it's all gone to, majority gone to Ato
Forson,
undecided.
undecided.
And the introduction of Prof. and Eric Oboku have gotten some marginal
numbers there. Now, we are going to analyze who the general voters prefer to lead NDC, who the floating people prefer to lead NDC, who the NDC voters prefer to lead NDC, and then who the delegates prefer at this stage to lead NDC.
Right.
Using trend data. This is the NDC delegate, the tracking data. The first poll was in March, April, and June. Look at the behavior of the curve. The blue curve is Asiedu Nketia.
So it's dropped. It went up from March to April, and then from May to July it's dropping.
It's dropping. Ato Forson was here, went up here, went up there. Now the rest are also sliding down. What you see is that when you put the trend curve on each graph, you could see the behavior of where the person is headed.
Yeah.
The dot at the trend curve for Asiedu Nketia is sloping downwards.
Yeah.
And for Ato Forson is slowing upwards among delegates. Now, the summary of it is that it's a two-horse race between Ato Forson and Asiedu Nketia. Because everyone else is doing less than 10%. Momentum. General has the institutional delegate, as we saw. Ato has the momentum because of the nature of the graph we saw. Haruna Idrisu is sliding down, and his numbers are moving to Ato Forson.
Could Haruna's issue be because of his...
North.
No, okay, right.
Let's look at NDC voters. The same pattern. Look at the shape of the trend line. April 2025, Nketia was 9%. He jumps 24% in July 2025, 26 in September, 24 in January, 28 in April, down 24 again. So his curve moved up, begin to slide. The blue, deep blue is Asiedu Nketia, and the dotted line is the trend curve. The trend curve is telling me that it's on downward slope.
Yes.
If you go to Atuforsen, he was 15% in April 2025, goes 25, 20, 28, 31, and 29. Look at his curve. Again, the same behavior, upward sloping. By combining all the snapshot polls, it gives you where the race is heading in the group or the NDC delegate voters group category.
But Haruna's curve is very interesting.
It's steep slope.
In a year ago, he started as the most favorite, 20% in April 2025.
Among the NDC people.
Yes, among the NDC people. July, it peaked in September 2025, and it started declining again, and now he's, because his fall from September 2025
back to where he started in April 2025.
There's something really happening in the country in 2025 that...
No, when the race started, you know, this North issue didn't sink in.
Right.
As time goes on, I think the discussions and the debate in homes begin to impact on people's perception.
Right.
And that is what is affecting him.
Okay.
The summary is there. Then you look at the general voters. How is the curve behaving? The same pattern. Nketia was 9%, goes 25, a big jump. Then declined 21, 19, up again 25, and declined 21%. Atuforsen from 11%, 21, 16, 20, 32, and 32 still. So look at his curve. While General's curve is upward and then downward sloping, Atu has been consistently on the rise. So you pay attention to the trend curve rather than the snapshot of the data. For the general voters. Let's look at floating voters. It's even more stunning for floating voters. General started at 10%, now 24%. Atu from 11% to now 41% among the floating voters. Look at the nature of the curves. Look at the gap here.
The gap is huge.
It's huge.
And it's climbing even more.
It's climbing.
Interesting.
The summary is that Atuforsen from 11%, 15 to 41% is about 26 points since September 2025. Huge. The steepest curve in any group trend when probabilistic from Atuforsen. He is the one that has seen that kind of growth in his numbers. I said it is stable. His numbers are not going up and he's not losing ground. So he's stable at where he is, which means that he could have a ceiling in the numbers. We don't know the number yet, but I think that there could be a ceiling for him as far as this race is concerned. Haruna Iddrisu really have seen the biggest drop. And I think it's the reality that is sinking with people who are making decisions that, look, we don't think it can be him, so let's look for alternative candidate for us to support.
Right. So Atu relatively is making plus 3% gain every month.
Every month. And if that continues, I think by October, he would overtake Asiedu Nketia. If that trend continues. Now, head to head. This is where you say, okay, let's have a race between Atuforsen and Asiedu Nketia. The rest are out.
Right.
How would people vote? The delegate vote. In April, Nketia was 37%, Atuforsen 32%, and 31% were undecided. Today, July, Nketia is down 34%. Atu is up 33%. Undecided has gone up to 33%. So now it's a tie race between Atuforsen and Asiedu Nketia. In the previous race, Nketia had 5 points advantage. Now it's only 1 point. And the margin of error is 1.7. So it's tied statistically.
It's tied, yes.
Now, this is where the story is. For those who were voting for Jenna Opoku, voting for Haruna Iddrisu, Julius Deborah, Joshua Alabi, Eric Opoku, and someone else, how do they behave in the event that their options are not available?
And the options is just
Haruna Iddrisu, Atuforsen, and Asiedu Nketia. The poll shows that 45% of Jenna supporters would vote for Atuforsen. And 32 will vote for Asiedu Nketia. For those who are voting for Haruna Idrisu, 32 for Asiedu Nketia, but 54 for Atuforsen. Julius Debra's delegate, 27 would do Nketia, but 54 would do Atuforsen. Joshua Alabi's delegates, 38 would do Asiedu Nketia and 49 Atuforsen. Those who are doing Eric Opoku, 33% will do Asiedu Nketia and 36% will do Atuforsen. Those saying someone else, 16% switch to Asiedu Nketia and 25% are doing Atuforsen. Now, in every election, in any election where there are two horses or two candidates are vying for top positions, you must be able to have coalition to support you in an event of runoff. Here, in an event of runoff, you could see potentially General could lose because the other guys are not backing him.
Right. And it's very heavy with Haruna's people.
Yep.
The Chief
people.
of Staff's people.
You see,
and then Prof's people.
Let me tell you some similarity. This group where Atu is getting 54% each, they are the younger delegates apart from the Eric Opoku guys. So the younger delegates or the younger candidates vote go to the younger candidate.
Okay.
And with Eric Opoku, you could see the tension between the Agric Ministry and the funds are upsetting his delegate.
Yes.
So when it comes to Atuforsen, they
split.
They split.
They are undecided.
They are undecided.
Yes.
So you can see those events are having impact on what we are seeing here in the polls. However, when you put anybody else against Mosquito, it is completely different story. Haruna Idrisu versus Mosquito. General was 42% previously. Now it's 45%, up 3%. Haruna was 22% before, now 16% drop. Undecided was 36%, now 39%. So Mosquito will slaughter Haruna flat in head-to-head. Now, let's look at the way the others will now behave. Those who are voting for Jenana, Atuforsen, Julius Debra, surprisingly here, you can see they've all been voting Atuforsen. General, sorry, Nketia. Nketia gets 44% of Jenana voters. He gets 42% of Atuforsen voters. He gets 45% of Debra's voters. He gets 56% of Alabi's voters and 41% of Erokubu's voters. So here, he's sweeping the board against Haruna Idrisu. When you slot in Jenana Opoku, General remains unchanged compared to April, the same percentages. Jane moved from 11% to 15%, slight improvement. And those who are undecided declined from 43 to 39%. That's where she got her numbers from.
Right.
But it does not change the fundamental of the race as far as this race is concerned. Again, if you look at how the people are voting, Atuforsen people doing Asiedu Nketia, 47%. Haruna Idrisu for Nketia, 46%. So even though there's a tension between Haruna Idrisu and Nketia, in a head-to-head against Admin Poku, they break heavily for Asiedu Nketia.
This is interesting because Haruna openly has thrown some level of subtle support towards Prof.
Yes.
But even in that instance, that is Haruna's view. His people
exactly.
don't think so.
The views of the candidate themselves may differ from that of the delegates who support him. So you can hear here, breakaway for Asiedu Nketia. And Debra people is 49%. Joshua Alabi, 56%. Eric Obuku, 43%. And again, here, someone else, they are square. Not much difference. If you throw in Julius Debra in the equation, General goes to 45 from 43%. Julius declined from 18 to 16%. Then those who were undecided remain flat. So Julius lost numbers to Asiedu Nketia.
Interesting.
Now let's look at the behavior of the other candidates as well. Jenana for Asiedu Nketia, 44%. Atuforsen for Nketia, 43%. Haruna for Nketia, 44%. Alabi for Nketia, 44%. Egopugu for Nketia, 41%. And someone else for Nketia, 19%. So you could see that nobody else, other than Atuforsen, give Nketia a run for his money. That's why we are saying it's a two-horse race.
Right.
At least from this data. Now, what we did is to provide a regional block performance. We don't want to provide region by region analysis here for a particular reason.
Right.
So we put Greater Accra, Western, and Central as a swing region together. Akan regions,
Greater Accra, Western,
and Central. They're the swing regions, we call them. So in the swing regions, Asylum Kitia was 24%, now 23%, down 1%. Jane was 9%, now 8%.
And is this for general voters? This is for
This is delegates.
delegates. Okay.
It's delegates.
You're still on that. Okay.
Atufosun was 28%, now 29%, up 1%. Haruna Idrisu was 6%, now 4%, down 2%. Deborah was 9%, now 5%, down 4%. And the others were up 3%. And those who were undecided have also gone up by 4%. So you could see that in the main candidates, only Atufosun has gained in the Akan regions.
Right.
The rest have declined. When you, in the swing regions. When you come to the Akan regions, here we're talking about Ahafo, Ashanti, Bono East, Central, Eastern, Western, Western North. Put all of this together in the Akan block regions. What do we see? That is where general show huge decline. Remember, he and Atufosun are often the Akan regions.
Yeah.
So here you could see the Akans deciding which one probably is a better Akan for us to back.
Yeah.
General was 31%. He led in April, 31%. Now down to what? 27%.
Right.
Down 4%. General was 8%, down 6%. And then Atufosun was 21%, up 25%, up 4%. Haruna is down 6% in the regions that are Akan dominated because it's a huge population. It's down quite a bit in that place. Deborah also down 1%, and others gained 2%. So you can see that the gainers were Atufosun by 4%, others 2%, and 7% went to
it will still be fair to even though this is regional blocks or how do you call them ethnic blocks or
and the
regional
Akan block.
Okay, so even though that is what it is, in the preceding slide, the one that started, when you were looking at the parameters, they consider ethnicity
Didn't play a role.
Didn't play a role.
No.
So even though it's an account block, here you can fairly say that they are still making decisions based on performance.
Yes,
Right.
yes. And then in the voter NOT block, Nketia gained lost 6%, from 30% to 24%, down 6%. Gina now from 12 to 9, down 3%. Atufosun from 12 to 23%, up 11%. And then Haruna Idrisu from 5 to 3%, down 2%. Deborah from 5 to 3, down 2%. And then others unchanged. And those who are undecided has gone up by 3%. So Atufosun gained hugely in the voter NOT region, alongside those who are undecided. And then finally, in terms of regional blocks, you have Asylum Kitia now on 26%, 31%, up from 26%. It's up 5% in the northern regions. Northern region, Upper West, Upper East, Savannah, and Northeast. Now, Opoku Ajiman, professor, 7% unchanged. Atufosun, 8% before, now 12%, up 4%. And then Haruna Idrisu, this is where he suffered huge loss, from 35% in northern region to now 19%.
In the northern
regions, down 16%. It's quite huge. And then Deborah remained unchanged. Others went up by 1%, and undecided went up by 6%. So they have moved from Haruna Idrisu to Atufosun, undecided, and paltry 1% to other candidates.
Interesting. The
So
controversial one.
That is the primary, what do you call it, flag bearership race.
Right.
Now, in the same survey, we asked them, if chairman doesn't contest as a chairman, who would you prefer as a chairman for the NDC? That is your score now. Neil and Van der Poel.
Again, this one, was it also open-ended for them to, or you give them
No,
the
this
list?
one, we have the list because we saw the names that were flying around.
Flying around.
So, some of them call us. I'm contesting, so put my name there.
Okay.
So, Neil Ante, nearly 27%. Ofosu Ampofu, 19%. Said Sinari, 6%. Sofo Azoka, 6%. Akwasi Oponfosu, 2%. Ni Ama Ashiti, near 0. And others, 4.1%. But 35% said they are undecided. Now, if you flip this again in the same regional blocks, Nilante leads in swing region, 32%. Ampofu, 18%. In the Akan block, Nilante, 24%. Against 22% for Ofosu Ampofu and Akan. If you come to voter OT block, Nilante 25%, Ampofu 14%. If you come to Northern block, Nilante 26%, Ampofu 18%. But huge numbers are at the moment have no opinion as to who should lead NDC. Now, what we did is to look at people's response to chairman staying or moving to position and see who they're supporting. So among those who say that they agree chairman must remain chairman, 21% of them are voting for Ampofu. And 29% are voting for Vanderpool. 2% for Ponfosu. Sinari 5%, Azuoka 5%, Niam Ashiti 1%, and someone else 6%. But 31% are undecided. For those who disagree that they should stay as chairman, 22% are still voting for Ampofu. 31% are voting for Vanderpool, and so on and so forth. What you will see, can conclude, is that if chairman changes his mind, these guys will be in trouble.
Yeah. Because all
the race will change.
Yes. Interesting. I think that's the last.
I think that's it. Yes.
Interesting. So technically, for the flag bearer race, it's fair to say that the expectation, like you said, is a 2-horse race. It's as of now from the opinion post, then it's more Asiedu Nketia and Atoforsen, and then also for the chairmanship, it's more Nilante, and then after Nilante, it's Ofosu Ampofu. Interesting. Wow. So when is the next poll?
We're going to be waiting a bit to get the new album, to test the new album again, to see that there's similarity between the old album and the new album. So maybe in the next 3 months or so.
In the next 3 months. So we are in July, August, September, October.
October, thereabouts, yes.
You are projecting that by October you expect that
the trend
from the trend you've seen, the trend suggests
that
if
he continues behaving the way he's behaving in the chart, by October he will overtake Asiedu Nketia.
And again, because most of the choices here is dependent on performance.
Yes.
What it means that if his performance also continues to stay as is, then that possibility is there.
Absolutely. And again, you will notice that those who are citing party service as a reason is declining. And once that is declining, it affects the one that has advantage in that party service, which is Asiedu Nketia.
Right. But one key point you made in your conclusion earlier was that General has the institutional support or has the party or delegate support.
Yes.
And considering that normally for this, there's always going to be the delegates deciding who to lead. It means that even though, yes, this is what the polls are saying, General still has that strong control at the base. It moves to the General.
You won't say control, because to control, you must have 50% plus 1. It's not there yet. It's 27%. But his base is solid, it's core, around 28 cap. That's what it means. So for him to win, he needs to expand that base. And that base expansion means that you'll be able to get people from Atoforsen to join him, or Haruna Idrisu. Because they are the ones and Ginana. For anybody in the race to win, it is not possible at this stage for only one person to bulldoze his way to win. You must have a coalition to back you. At the moment, it's not there.
Don't promise somebody running mate, so they come and back you. With that, thank you very much for this. It's been a wonderful discussion. The data, like you said, data doesn't lie, and this is not you speaking. This is what opinion poll. This is what the people you've spoken to. This is what they are saying.
Absolutely.
So that is their view. So
that's their views.
Thank you very much. We appreciate. We'll definitely get back to you again in October when the next one comes. I know Rashid Computer would have a lot to say. Like I said, you will do the figures.
He won't talk.
He won't talk. We will do the politics behind the scene. So, viewers, we'll take a quick break. Right after the break, we'll come back in studio and I'll introduce my other panel members and would go deep into the other topics for the morning. We'll be right back after this break.
Stay safe. The National Petroleum Authority is cautioning the public to desist from scooping or fetching fuel from overturned fuel tankers at accident scenes. Do not get closer to the scene in an attempt to take videos or pictures. Inhaling the petroleum product is detrimental to your health. Worst of all, petroleum products are volatile and highly flammable, and a small spark can trigger a catastrophic explosion, causing deaths and loss of property. Call the Ghana Fire Service or Ghana Police personnel to handle the scene, or reach the National Petroleum Authority's contact center on 0302 550 380. Your life is worth more than a gallon of fuel. This Save a Life campaign is from the National Petroleum Authority.
From the heart of Africa we stand, building dreams across the land. Every step we take aside, helping you rise, taking you higher. Strong as a group, close as a partner. Bank of Africa lifting you higher. African Bank with global reach. BOA make your future glow. Strong as a group, close as a partner. Bank of Africa lifting you higher. African Bank with global reach. BOA make your future glow. BOA, we go there for you night and day. Strong as a group, close as a partner. Bank of Africa lifting you higher.
Bank of Africa, as strong as a group, as close as a partner.
In Ghana, football is not just a game. It is the conversation in the morning, the argument in the afternoon, and the heartbeat of the evening. From Accra to Tamale, Cape Coast to Ho, we may come from different places, but when the whistle blows, we stand as one, we watch as one, we cheer as one, and when the victory comes, we win as one.
Catch the World Cup action live on GTV Sports Plus, the home of live action.
is it going to be released? How is it going to post the bill bonds? How is it going to do it? 50 million Ghana cedis, 3 sureties, 2 to be justified. That means 2 of them should post properties. Well, 50 million.
Has any of the bill conditions?
How can it be met?
Not paying attention to
How can it be met? How can it be met? That's critical hour. Huh? Where are you going to find properties worth 50 million?
I'm finding it tonight.
I'm finding it tonight. Thank you very much. How is it going to be released? How is it going to post the bill bonds? How is it going to do it? 50 million Ghana cedis, 3 sureties, 2 to be justified. That means 2 of them should post properties. Well, 50 million.
Has any of the bill conditions?
How can it be met?
Not paying attention to
How can it be met?
How
How can it be met? That's critical hour. Huh? Where are you going to find properties worth 50 million?
I'm finding it tonight.
I'm finding it tonight. Thank you very much. Yeah. How is it going to be released? How is it going to post the bill bonds? How is it going to do it? 50 million Ghana cedis, 3 sureties, 2 to be justified. That means 2 of them should post properties. Well, 50 million.
Has any of the bill conditions?
How can it be met?
Not paying attention to
How can it be met?
How
How can it be met? That's critical hour. Huh? Where are you going to find properties worth 50 million?
Well, welcome back from the break. This is Current Agenda, your most authoritative Saturday morning news analysis program, your Saturday morning companion. With me in studio to discuss the topics for this morning, I have to my extreme left, Ni Wiabo Nunu, Esquire. He's a private legal practitioner. Ni, good morning. You want Ni or you want Percy? Which one?
I prefer the lead.
You prefer the Ni, right. Next to Ni is Enoch Afuakwa. He's also a member of the NPP legal team, and he's also a lawyer. Lawyer Afuakwa, good morning.
Good morning, Kojo.
Celestial greetings.
Yeah, a profound respect to you and your guests on this platform.
Right. Thank you. Next to Lawyer Afuakwa is the man himself, Safo Tanko Rashid Computer. He's a CEO of GIFEC and also the Deputy Director of Elections for the National Democratic Congress. Senior.
Yes, great.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Terrific. I mean, you know, the good people of Bimbila are always happy watching GTV. You are very live there. I mean, it's a territory that...
You know one thing I've noticed on this set.
Yes.
Any panel member who comes and greets the good people of their hometown has a plan.
Oh, hold on, this one there. It's my hometown.
So this one is a normal greeting.
It's my hometown. It's a normal. I always greet them. I mean, they are nice.
But we all don't know the future.
I mean, that one there, future is unknown. So let's see what's happening.
Well, next
when you do that, you see, Afokwa will feel uncomfortable. So
he wasn't greeting his people.
How is it?
When he became serious. So next to Rashid Tanko is Austin Kwabena Brako-Powers. He's also a private legal practitioner, lawyer. Alright. Now I'll call you Kwabena since you like calling me Kojo. How are you doing?
Sorry.
Right. Anyway, so gentlemen, we are starting first with the Miracles Abuaji issue.
Chairmanship.
No. We are starting with the Miracles Abuaji issue. We are not.
The sequence within flow.
Which sequence?
See how
now
the sequence within flow.
Now you want?
You've done. No, you see, let's be fair. No, let's be fair to our viewers. You see, you've done extensive discussion on the survey done by Musa Dankwa, and we should have our bite on day because it's part of the topics that we have to discuss.
You have your bite at the latter end.
At the latter end.
Yes, at the latter end.
Hey,
yes.
Somebody should go for thank you talk for 2 years, and Musa Dankwa come and tell us that. Musa Dankwa come and tell us that somebody who has not even stepped out.
Let me start with Rashid.
Because he's stifling other ministries of funds. It's leading. We will get there.
It's too early for
me. Yeah, we'll get there.
We will get there.
So, Rashid, I mean, we woke up one morning to hear that In fact, we saw on social media that Miracle Sabwaji is launching his MPP Communications Director competition campaign. Then a few minutes later, we also hear that he's been arrested at the airport by the Yoko because he's undergoing some investigation. Some hours later, we see some publication from Yoko saying that he's been investigated for a 55 million related case. But he says that when he went or when he was detained, there was not a single discussion on that 55 million. He's not told us what they discussed, but he says nothing on the 55 million was discussed, which goes to now fuel the suspicion people are having that this was just one of the usual machinations by the government to silence the loud mouths out there.
Well, my brother, you see, that's why I like Ghana. It's a very interesting country. I enjoy being in the country. Anytime I travel, I feel like coming home quick because the country is so beautiful. I mean, we have a liberalized airwaves where people air their views and they just say what they want to say. I mean, and it's making the governance of this country so beautiful. That's why our democracy is the envy within the SAP region. I mean, if you look at what is going on in this country. Now, you know what? Public service is different from private service. When you accept public office, it means you are accepting the dictates of what is embedded as a public officer. And one of the key things, in fact, the Constitution is here, I'll borrow from Senior and look at it. It talks about accountability. The framers of our 1992 Constitution was very clear in their mind about accountability. That look, the fact that you are given resources to manage as a public officer doesn't mean that it belongs to you and your family or your friends. It's for the good people of Ghana. And they should manage it in such a way that they benefit their fruit of their labor. That is why you are there as a public officer. Now, if you're a public officer and you don't want to account, I don't understand. Then you have no business of being in that office. You shouldn't even accept it at all. Just go and be in your private sector so that you can do whatever you want to do and get away with it. But when you accept public office, know that there is a day for accountability. You account for every penny given to you. My younger brother, Dennis, accepted executive secretary of Interministerial Committee on Decentralization or not.
Yeah.
That means he was in charge of the day-to-day running of that secretariat. Resources were given to him. There was an accountant there. In fact, interestingly enough, MPP, they are very interesting people. There are two people involved in this matter. One person has decided to return the loot. In fact, he has started returning the loot. Go and read the press statement from Yoko. They mentioned the gentleman's name in it. If I am here, I head an agency. My accountant and finance officers cannot misbehave with my funds without my knowledge. Because I am the one who signed authorizations, approvals for expenditure in the agency.
So the gentleman is Gerald Appiah.
Gerald Appiah. So if I am sitting down as a head of the institution and then financial malfeasances going on in my agencies, and you think that I should be absolved, those under there should be dealt with. In our local parlance, they said when you had there's a wound on the head, the neck will get the blood. It will flow down. And that's what we are talking about. Nobody is accusing Dennis of pocketing 55 million Ghana cedis. No, nobody is saying that he has pocketed. But they are saying that there is an allegation of misappropriation of this amount. Come answer question. He's been investigating. In fact, that was not the first day. They've invited him severally to appear before them. And so where they are continuing to investigate actors, in fact, I'm happy I'm surrounded with lawyers here. And you know, when state agencies investigating, they have several tools under their sleeves that they will use to extract evidence from you. They know it, provided it's not against the Constitution and it is not against your liberties. Are you getting it? Dennis got intelligence. Look, by saying that he wanted to contest this communication thing, he got an intelligence that he was going to be picked. So he just put it there. Don't you see the coincidence? The time the post came, that was the time he was being picked. That was just to psych up his party people to come. After seeing this thing on social media, then everybody will think that.
That's interesting and wild.
That is why I'm saying that we are in this game. We have been in this game.
Hold on. You see, in the publication or the launch of his campaign, there was a whole video that had been produced. You are not suggesting that within that few minutes that he got wind of it, he produced that video where he's shown where he grew up, because I've seen that video.
Let me tell you. I did graphic design before. Just give me 30 minutes and I'll produce a video for you. With everything that we want to do. Now that we have a tools, there are several tools on this our phone. You see these phones that we are holding. You don't need big laptop or big screen, this thing, desktop to come and do anything. This your phone can do a lot within seconds. And even we are now in the era of AI.
So you're saying Dennis launched his campaign knowing very because he was going to be
within that period, look at the coincidence. We are referring to the coincidence. Circumstantial evidence, the lawyers will tell you what it means by circumstantial evidence. And we are talking of 55 million Ghana cedis. It's not a small money. Do you know what 55 million Ghana cedis can do to even just give GTV 1 million Ghana cedis? I'm sure you would have changed a lot of your gadgets here.
You wear more t-shirts.
I'm telling you. So we are talking Accra drains. Look at the difficulties we are having. I remember some years back, there was a talk of 51 million Ghana cedis, Gargantua or what? Woyomi, or Gargantua. I don't know what kind of song they are going to now sing for 55. We're talking of 51 and they were all over the place. And I remember under President Kufuor, there was a former regional minister who coined a word. The money is big. You remember? I see a quay. That the money is big, and then even ended it with the word stealers. That was the time we got to know the word stealers. They started coining all these things against NDC appointees then. Today, he's being investigated on this matter. I'm just want to hear from my brothers from the other side. What song are they going to use for this 55 million Ghana cedis that we are talking about?
Right.
And so he's being investigated. They should allow the rule of law to triumph. There are law students who are learning from them. The way they speak, when they come on set, I sometimes cringe. I say, why are you talking about this matter? Now I've heard senior Atachi talking of 50 million bond, the bail bond. That is too huge. Where is he gonna get it? People were given leniency and they ran away. They are now fugitives. They are all over the place. They don't want to come back to account for. We are talking of $98 million. This one is not CDs.
Who was giving leniency and ran away?
Oh, is it the former attorney, finance minister?
Who gave him leniency?
Oh, he ran away.
But who gave him leniency?
It wasn't the attorney general, then attorney general, and then the minister of justice then.
Give him leniency.
So for him to run away, because he asked that he wanted to go for health service and all that.
But that was a
leniency.
Chief of staff that he
and I'm saying that was under their regime. He ran away before we took over power. And up to now, he doesn't want to come back. He doesn't want to come back. There are a lot of them that we are looking for. In fact, interestingly enough, the day they held their demonstration at Yoko, there were three of them who were there granting interviews and other things. We watched them. We're looking for them.
They're looking for them.
I'm telling you, fortunately, they have not been pursued. Their dockets is being prepared. Because the docket is not fresh yet, nobody will pick them up. But they don't know that they are being pursued by the security agents. So they brought themselves on camera. So we saw them. We saw them. We're just waiting for the docket to be prepared, finished.
Right.
Then they will launch and grab them. You see, oral is in action. And it's in full motion. And we're saying that just bring back the root. If you bring it back, we have no problem. There's what we call plea bargaining. They will explain it to you. You can come for plea bargaining. In fact, their chairman in Ashanti region has availed himself for that opportunity in one of his cases. Plea bargaining. And they are working on that. So that at least the state will get something out of that.
Okay.
And then we'll use that one to develop the country.
Thank you.
Hey, my brother here will also continue to enjoy because we'll continue to develop.
Thank you.
And then everybody will enjoy their fruits of their labor.
Rashid's brother. Avoka. Brother Avoka.
Kojo.
We want a good and a sweet Ghana to live in. So if someone has sat in a public space and he's been asked to account for his stewardship, for some money that the government is unable to tell how it was used, why is the minority up in arms? Why is the opposition MPP worried that one of their own is being asked to explain how funds given to him were used?
Yeah. Let me first of all use your platform to congratulate the good people of Obuasi's constituency for having a fair, transparent constituency conference that culminated in the election of Chairman Mark Oti and his executives as constituency executives to man the affairs of the Obuasi East constituency for the New Patriotic Party in the next 4 years. In fact, the atmosphere was very calm. The delegates comported themselves and in all humility did what they are mandated to do pursuant to the constitution of the New Patriotic Party. So I congratulate them strongly for what they have done. Kojo, it is sad to hear the NDC teach us legal jurisprudence. And now I'm happy that almost all NDC communicators are now law lecturers with expertise in bail and investigative procedure. It serves as well as the people of this country, where we are developing our democracy, that tomorrow, when the table turns and they are asked to account for their stewardship, my brother Tanko Computer is right here, to account for their stewardship, they will not be crying political persecution because they have given us the entire lectures that the lecturers of the Ghana School of Law will have given in a period of time, in 2 years. But they will take just 30 seconds, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and give us an entire lecture on consequences of bail and why harsher or stricter bail conditions ought to be meted out to accused persons pending before the courts or suspects before investigative bodies like the Economic and Organized Crimes Office. The essence of bail, Kojo, is to ensure the attendance of the accused person or the suspects when the matter is pending before the investigative bodies, to ensure the attendance before the investigative bodies to continue the investigation and to complete it. When you are before the court, is to ensure your attendance before the courts to stand trial. But when you read section 96(5), it tells you that the court, the interest of the court is to ensure that you appear to stand trial. That is the first cardinal point. Before the court even looks at other grounds of bail, whether you are a flight risk, whether the punishment that will entail in the eventual conclusion of the matter, if it will be such that it will deter you from appearing before the court, or it will entice you to run away, to boat, or those kind of things. Whether you have a fixed place of abode in the Republic and those kind of things. But when you read section 96(4), it tells you that bail should not be withheld as a form of punishment against accused persons. And even in setting the terms or the conditions of bail, the Constitution places an onerous injunction on the exercise of such discretionary powers, because in the case of Pebu vs. Attorney General, the Supreme Court succinctly said that all offenses are bailable but subject to the discretion of the courts. And in exercising such discretion, Article 296 guides persons tasked with such authority to exercise discretionary powers, not to exercise them in an arbitrary or capricious manner. So if you are exercising such powers in an arbitrary or capricious manner, you will account for it one day. Because we should inform ourselves that one of the conditions that led to the dismissing of the former Chief Justice, Her Ladyship Justice Gertrude Araba Isaba Tokono, was that one, Mr. Daniel Ofori petitioned that during the pendency of a matter before the court, the conduct of the learned Chief Justice and those things culminated was one of the grounds. So, if
you exercise a discretionary power in arbitrary or capricious manner, you one day also account for it. Because now the terms has been expanded and there are precedents to that. What happened in the Dennis Miracles Abuaje matter is really appalling. Our Evidence Act of 1975, Act 323, clearly states that when you come to official publications, that official publications are presumed to be regular until a contrary is established. Now, you arrested in Miracles Abuaje somebody who has arrived at the Accra International Airport, not departing. Somebody who has attended upon your invitation to Yoku, and you have really directed that when he is needed, you call him back. Whilst he, in the past, has even called back to Yoku, placed a call to Yoku, requesting that, yes, it has been dates since my attendance to Yoku, and you told me that you will call me back. I've not heard from you. What is going on? So when we need you, we will call you back. This gentleman traveled outside the Republic in demonstrating that he's not a flight risk. Did not stay where he was for the state to go through extradition processes, as happened in the matter of Madam Sedinam Tamakulu. He returned back to his motherland, knowing very well that he's innocent until proven guilty. Upon his arrival, was locked at the airport, subsequently transferred to the cells of the Economic and Organized Crimes Office on a frivolous allegation that the gentleman, when serving at the Secretariat, manning the Interministerial Coordinating Committee's Secretariat, embezzled. Look at the charges: money laundering,
conspiracy to steal,
those kind
using
of
public office for profit, causing financial loss to the state, dissipation of public funds, defrauding by false pretenses, money laundering. 6.
And let me state on record that whenever you are charged before you, or they caution you, the Economic and Organized Crimes Office, one of their templates, the money laundering is always part of it. And I have followed clients or represented clients before you. Almost all clients that I have represented before you, money laundering is part of their caution offenses. So, a gentleman came. You arrested him in a Rambo style, kept him behind custody in your cells, whether it is lawful custody or unlawful custody. Granted him bail in the sum of 51 million Ghana cedis. Interrogated him. And he has come out because once Yoko issued an official statement, official publication, alleging that he's being investigated on embezzlement or an alleged embezzlement of about 50-something million Ghana cedis, he was bold to come out that during interrogation before Yoko, he was never interrogated on any 50-something million Ghana cedis. So it means that it is a palpable falsehood. It holds no water. It's a mount political reasoning, and that based on their action, they just put up certain words, made a publication to try him in the court of public opinion. It means that the presumption of regularity that is guaranteed by Act 323 has been contested. And I am amazed as a lawyer and a citizen of this country that Yoko, subsequent to the publication by the person of interest or the suspect, Dennis Miracles Abuaje, has not been able to come out to state otherwise. So it means that the official publication made in respect of the arrest of Dennis Miracles Abuaje by the Economic and Organized Crimes Office, dated, was it 15 July? 13 July 2026, in the year of our Lord, is palpable falsehood. It's false. It's flouted with lies, errors. It's error-ridden. Because the suspect, the person of interest, has come out to rebut him. That during interrogation, and their interrogation is both voice and video. They record you. So if indeed what the suspect has put out is not the true picture of what transpired during interrogation, they should publish the video of the interrogation for the good people of Ghana to make their own judgments. Because the gentleman has challenged them. Indeed, they put out a statement that the accountant, Gerald, has admitted and has started paying.
In fact, this is how they put it. Yoko knows that Gerald Appiah has voluntarily begun refunding, into brackets, returning the loot. Interestingly, that's the same terminology Rashid used.
Returning the loot.
Connected to the crimes under investigation.
For Christ's sake, this was an audit report which indicted Gerald Appiah of an amount of 570,000 Ghana cedis. 40-something thousand. I'm not too accurate. Let's say over 500,000 Ghana cedis. Gerald Appiah, after the audit query, started paying the said amount of money.
Even before the
Yoko got in. At the time Yoko got in, I am reliably informed that he has paid with an outstanding balance of 70,000 Ghana cedis. 70,000 Ghana cedis. So the statement put out by Yoko is political, it's partisan. It is there to tell a certain partisan story. The lawyer of Gerald Appiah has put out certain statements and contested strongly the said allegation that has been put out by Yoko. Why are we destroying sacred state institutions like Yoko? In the past, it was never same. You see, when they are talking about bail conditions, in the matter of Dr. Opuni, the amount was $200-something million. Is that not the case? But he was granted, and said to Agongo, they were granted self-recognizance bail. Self-recognizance bail. Were they not accused persons? But they were granted self-recognizance bail. Look at the quantum of money involved. Why? Now, even in misdemeanor offenses, bail conditions or bail terms are set at 1 million Ghana cedis, with sureties to be justified with landed properties.
Okay.
Where are we going as a country?
Where are we going as a country? I'll come back to you.
But let the precedent continue to be set. And I am worried, strongly worried, for persons serving in political appointed positions in the country now. They should continue to clap.
So,
the time of accountability will be there for them.
The moment I call Ni means that I'm moving from you.
Yes, I agree. I am worried. I am worried for my brother Tanko. You see, Tanko's office, they had some procurement contract, and the contract was taken from them.
Anyway,
the 1 million coders program. I'm coming. The 1 million coders program. The contract was taken away from them.
Let's stay on focus.
The time of accountability will come.
Gentlemen, Zoni, now if you read the statement or the press release, or the press statement, sorry, from Yoko, it gives the impression that prior to Miracles leaving the country, he was complying and he was available for them or to them. As and when they needed him, he was there, because they had indicated that he was assisting in investigation. Now, they have stated in there that they had now gone to seek an order, a stop order. But then within the period they were seeking the stop order, unknown to them, he had already traveled. So it's not the case that there was a stop order and he breached it. Now, if the person already was complying and was available for you, what was the need of all that Rambo style at the airport? I mean, as a private legal practitioner.
All right. So thank you, Kojo, and a very good morning to the viewers. So, to a large extent, I agree with the sentiments being shared. My learned seniors have also expressed themselves, very forcefully on the subject. And personally, I think Yoko as an institution should be able to, regardless of the fact that they are clothed with power to arrest, to even prosecute, So the issues here for me has to do with the arrest, the mode of arrest, and then the bail conditions. The arrest in itself is not in contention, in the sense that YOCO as an institution has that power to cause arrest. But the mode of arrest. So while the arrest may be legal, the recipient or the person at the receiving end may have issues with respect to how the arrest is made. And like you rightly pointed out, this is someone who, prior to this arrest, was very compliant. An invitation has been made or were made previously. He comes, he corroborates, he cooperates. And I'm not even sure if he was even aware of the stop order. If it were the case that he was aware and then he left, then perhaps you could say that his intention is probably questionable. But let's assume that he didn't know. He's left. And then he's come back. That's, I believe, one of the arguments my learners here was making. This is someone who was not leaving the country. He's gone and is returning. So at least as far as the intentions are concerned, he's back again to cooperate. And I don't think there's been, in their letter, I think it's stated in there that at all material times, I'm just paraphrasing, that he's been cooperative and all of that. So if it comes to your attention that this person has landed in the country, you could at least make a phone call that, oh, Mr. Abuaje, we noted that you've left, blah, blah, blah. Can you please come to the office? If that invitation is not complied with, then you could go, because then it's like he's flouted your authority, or he's decided to go against your invitation. But for him to, land and then quickly go in there, I think it's a little, unfair to him, so to speak. And as an institution, when it comes to the justice delivery system, justice must not only be done, it must be seen to be done. And it starts right from arrest, where as soon as you're arrested, your rights are being read to, your right to counsel and all of that stuff. So right from the onset, it kicks in. So if someone like this is being, very cooperative and all, I don't think it's the kind of action that YOCO took warrants, it didn't warrant that kind of force. Because you've admitted that he's been cooperative. You didn't have to do that. And when these things happen, then it fuels or it feeds that perception that certain state institutions are being used for some political agenda, as far as the government is concerned. So I believe for the public to have general confidence in our justice delivery system as a whole, we should be very mindful of the steps that some of these institutions take. The next thing I want to touch on is respect of bail. It is tried that bail as a whole should not be used as a punitive measure. The essence of bail, I'm going to reiterate what my senior said, is for the person to avail themselves either in court or throughout the investigation. So sometimes I have issues with the bail conditions. As I speak, I have a client who I got bail for in Koforidua. And the bail condition is this is a young man of about 30, no more than 35 years. The bail condition is about 1 million Ghana cedis. For a 35-year-old, even though bail has been granted, he's still in custody because he's unable to meet, the condition. And more often than not, the narrative that will be spewed will be that, oh, but you've been granted bail. As to you not being able to meet the condition, that's not really the court's problem. But then again, it defeats the purpose for which bail is set. If you feel the person is flight risk, there are other measures that can be put in place. Usually you can have the passport being deposited with the registry of the court to avoid the person, or in a way to make sure the person is within the jurisdiction. There is also some instances where the courts can even order that the accused person should present themselves at some regular intervals, maybe every 2 weeks, every, So all these are mechanisms that are put in place to ensure the availability of the accused. So if you're going to include or bring in certain onerous conditions that, defeat the purpose of, at the end of the day, we should also realize that the underlying principle is that the person is innocent until proven guilty. So if you set such onerous conditions that, affect the right to the person's liberty, the person is still in custody, is unable to probably see the family and all of that, I think ultimately we may have to have a second look at it, because fundamentally bail is discretionary. And so once it's discretionary, it's within the bosom of course, we'll take into consideration the nature of the charge brought against the person and all of that. But I feel like fundamentally, once the person is going to be available for investigation or be present in court for the trial to continue, I think that should do. So personally, I think it's rather unfortunate that this happened, and to some extent it appears to taint the image of the Yoko. If Dennis Miracles Abuaji was cooperating, which has been admitted, I didn't even know about this investigation until this arrest. It could have gone on to perhaps, I don't think he's even been formally charged. Then you are formally charged, you go to court, and then due process follows. So I think we can do better as an institution. And
right.
Yeah.
Thank you. We've been informed that we've been joined online also by Dr. Jalilu. Doc, good morning. Doc, can you hear me?
Good morning, Kojo. How are you doing? Yes, I can hear you, Kojo. Good morning.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing very well. What about you?
I'm great. So I'll just introduce you to the viewers. I'll come back to you right after I'm done with Lawyer Powers. Okay. So,
all right, thank you.
Powers. Now, listening to the earlier speakers, I still go back to that question again. If the person was cooperating, Neem makes an important point that nothing suggests that he was even aware of the stay order. Because if you see how expressive the press statement is, he would have mentioned. The press statement says that in the week that they got it a week ago, but unknown to them, he had already departed the country. And so was all that necessary? Could we not have done it in a way that it would not even come in the public space and then save us all this trouble whilst we can pay attention to other pressing issues in the country?
Kojo, we must all understand that this whole issue has been one-sided. And if you want to do that tangent, you won't get, or you won't put the matters in their right perspective before the audience. You must ask yourself whether there are no legitimate concerns for the arrest of Miracle Abuaji. Are we saying that the Yoko does not have any legitimate concern to arrest Miracle Abuaji? That should not be the case. Now, we must not create a society where some people are untouchable. That should not be the conversation. If you were given a state institution to manage, you must account for your stewardship. That must be understood, should be the baseline of the entire conversation. Anybody. That is why the state is in a frenzy mood to extradite Ken Ofori-Atta. Everybody must account for whether past government or current government. Everybody. And I support that spirit of accountability. But you must understand, we are trying to encourage one line of conversation that should be discouraged immediately. That when you arrest some people, or when security agencies arrest some individuals known to be steeply deep in any of the political parties, the two dominating political parties, then supporters mass up at premises to demand the release of in the conversation. And the entire conversation is that we should look at public accountability.
are there no legitimate concerns for Yoko to arrest Miracle? Yoko says he may have played a role in a stated amount, 55 million Ghana cedis. As to whether he played a role in the total sum, we have yet to be told. But he has a role to play. That means that he has some questions to answer. And this issue about Yoko's allegation being bogus and other things, it is too early in the day to be putting out that narrative. It is too early in the day. Because Yoko's work is to track the money. When you read the entire Yoko architecture, you understand the simplest way to understand their role is to know that Yoko tracks the money. They follow the money trail. So whether they're following the money trail is a legitimate path for them to take. It's an issue that has to be determined by a court of competent jurisdiction. So when we sit and say that Yoko is engaged or is undertaking a bogus investigation or Yoko is chasing bogus allegation, that is not the conversation. That should not be the conversation.
But I'm not sure on this set anybody has said that.
No, I've heard that, sir. That's why I'm addressing a general. I'm trying a general concern, not
right.
What is on this? What has been discussed on this table is not really the focus of my discussion.
Okay.
I'm talking about the broader conversation where people claim that Yoko's allegations are frivolous. You can't conclude that Yoko's allegations are frivolous when the allegation or the allegations have not been tested in court. And we must understand, Dennis is saying that he was not questioned on the 55 million. We've not heard from Yoko whether or not he was questioned. And whether he was questioned or not should not be the basis to conclude that he has no questions to answer. Because Yoko has a way of modus operandi, the way they operate. They can bring you in and ask you questions on certain things because of what they feel they want from you. Do you go to Yoko and tell Yoko, ask me questions on this? You brought us on the set. Are we to tell you the kind of questions you should ask us? You ask us questions based on the topic.
Even though Afoka wanted to try, but
do you understand?
Yes.
So when Yoko calls you or invites you, they ask you questions based on the thematic areas they want answers from, or answers from you. So you don't go and say because Yoko alleged that I played a role in the 55 million, I'm expecting that when I get there, they will ask me questions on the 55 million. But they also have issues, other issues they may need responses to. Good. So let us be able to place the matters in their proper perspective. I have had issues with the way Yoko operates. Not only Yoko, even the police, the Uganda Police Service. I've had issues with the way they operate, the way the Bureau of National Investigations operate. I've had issues with these security apparatus or institutions. The agenda must not be to bastardize state institutions. The agenda must be to prefer solutions to reform these institutions. Then back to your question. In fact, when I read the statement, Yoko's statement, I laughed. And you know why I laughed? I didn't laugh because Yoko has no legitimate concerns. I've stated the baseline that they do. But I laughed because of some of the sentences, or let me say, some of the statements they made in the press release. And one has to do with the fact that Dennis Abuaji has been in and out of Yoko facilities. So this is clearly to say that he has not taken any deliberate action to, so to say, stop you from doing your work. So I was expecting Yoko to have at least invited him. It could have been a mere invitation that come. And because Yoko said they discovered new evidence.
Yes.
So if you have new evidence, it means that your prior evidence, you've already questioned him on the prior evidence. So why not invite him? Because I've had issues with the manner in which Yoko undertook this arrest. But that should not be the basis to bastardize the entire investigative work of Yoko. That should not be the basis. So if we want to delve into the conversation, it must be that we must acknowledge the aspect of the work Yoko is doing. And we must also suggest ways to reform the activities. That is how we engage in a constructive conversation and help in building or fashioning out an institution that will serve all Ghanaians. But if the conversation is one-sided and the attempt is to bastardize Yoko and to say that Yoko has no basis to undertake its work and that the allegation, the so-called 55 million allegation, is bogus, frivolous, and has no merit, that is a one-sided conversation that will not even allow Ghanaians to appreciate the work of Yoko. So, I must point out that Yoko has legitimate concerns to arrest Miracle. But was the manner of arrest right? That is the conversation I'm saying that I felt Yoko could have approached it in a different way. But Dennis has questions to answer. And every past government appointees must understand that so long as you were giving state institutions and taxpayers money, you must account for them. And I want to encourage the security agencies, they must be swift and updoing. The rate at which supporters mass up at security apparatus should not be a conversation that should be encouraged. They must stamp the authority. This is becoming one too many. And it's pushing for...
Is it not a ploy the politicians are using? Because, I mean, right when the information about Dennis, you saw the General Secretary of the NPP publish, you saw the organizer, Nana B, come out, speak. So is it not a deliberate ploy the political parties are using?
That's what I'm saying, that, Koyo, the NDC used it when they were in opposition, and NPP is using it. And this is not the first time NPP is using it.
But they've used it to the extent that even when Shattawale was also...
Exactly. His members also mass up. But that's what I'm saying, that we must broaden the conversation. We must discourage that thing. And usually, the reason why this thing is frustrating is because of the understanding that some people are untouchable.
Right.
And I'm saying that when it comes to public accountability, the state must stamp its authority and ask that practice to be stopped. If we have to take drastic measures to prevent that kind of incident, we must do that. Because everybody must be accountable, including even private individuals. So long as you are muddied in taxpayers' money, you must account for them. So if the security agencies must have to intensify their work to, even if they have to take any drastic measures to prevent that massing up. I feel uncomfortable when I see people mass up, particularly when people have been brought in for purposes of accountability or to answer certain questions. So, Kojo, it must be pointed out, or it must be pointed out that Yoko has legitimate concerns. Dennis must answer. The fact that you went in and you were not asked specific questions regarding the 55 million does not mean you are out of the woods already. There are still questions lingering.
Right.
And it will be tested when the matter is arraigned before a court of competent jurisdiction.
Thank you. Dr. Jalil, can you hear me? Hello, Doc, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, Doc. So, Doc, does this suggest to you what is happening now to be one of the many earlier ones that have already comments that we don't seem, and when I say we as people of Ghana, don't seem to see where we are going or which headway we are making in terms of recovery of whatever alleged loot that they've been taking. There's been several names that have been mentioned who have been, we are hearing different sides. The Dubois case, we are hearing that today there is this, tomorrow there is that. Does it suggest another one that is thrown in? Because people are saying oral is dead, so they need to shake that oral is really not dead.
Yeah, Thank you very much, and good morning to the viewers. I think so because I think that from Mr. Rashid Tanko's comments on this matter, he said that he was even pointing to the fact that there are some people that they are looking for. So I think that the investigative authorities cases that they have, maybe some fallout from the oral or whatever it is. So I think that it is part of it. And then, so I believe that maybe there are many others that will follow, right? And it is like my brother Bracco Powers has said, public office holders, once you accept to perform a role, or once you accept a position, you must also accept the fact that it comes with some responsibility, some accountability. So at the end of your tenure, it's expected that, the house will have to be clean to see whether when you came into the house, what was how are you living that house? So if there are some financial or procurement breaches and all that, it is within the mandate of the investigative authorities to conduct investigations, right? So if at the end of the day, it is established that there is nothing in the allegations, then so be it. But if at the end of the day, they still think that, this case or cases will have to be progressed to the court, I think that is what the law, is. So we must at every moment, do things within that. So once you hold a public office and then you are being, the situation is kind of a culture, right, within the NDC and then MPP. Once one person from, their hood is accused of something, right, or being investigated, and then you find people massing up. And the question is that, will it change anything from the experience that we have had, right? You can mass up and all that, but at the end of the day, if it is established that, there are some answers, you will have to be prosecuted, that is not going to change. So I think that we must depart from it. In my view, it is like trying to stampede the processes, right? Yes, we have right to demonstrate and all that. But even if you want to look at the Public Order, I do not think that some of this, I believe that some of this is, definitely violate some of the laws that we have. Yes, we have right to freedom of, movement, association, and all that. But if you look at, we just through social media and others, people are asked to come and mass up. What for? So I think that it is important that we must begin to unlearn some of these things so that we allow the institutions to work. Sometimes when you do this, it is, for me, it is also a kind of suggesting that maybe there is something that at the end of the investigation, maybe the person, the investigative authority will say that no, there is nothing, so we are not proceeding with this case. So in my view, I think that they should allow some of these processes to go on unhindered, because if it doesn't augur well for the progress of our democracy. Accountability is very critical, right? And it's one of the key things that we use in assessing how democratic we are. So when people are called upon to come and account for their stewardship, we should not unnecessarily stampede the processes. So looking at these videos and the previous, some of the previous things that we have witnessed over the years, I think that it's, they are stampeding the processes, and it is not, good for our democratic progress.
Right, Doc, thank you very much. Ni, does this suggest to us that as a people we are becoming too partisan, to the extent that when an issue comes up, we are not even prepared to listen to or look at it from the national interest, but we just want to be colored in our approach to it? This whole massing up and demanding, because all those who mass up technically are not even paying attention to whatever it is that they are alleging that he could have been contributed to It's just the fact that he's NPP. If arrested our person, free him. Are we getting there?
So,
or have we gotten there?
Kojo, it's rather unfortunate that anytime issues of national interest arise, it's one way or the other looked at through the lens of, partisan politics. In my submission of my seniors, they've established the need for accountability, which I rightly agree. As a public servant, you ought to be accountable for your stewardship. And so it has to get to a point where, as a people, we have to be able to detach from our politics and ask the right questions. There's a danger in clothing everything in party politics. And over the years, we see this happening. Anytime something happened and is being discussed, there's always reference to, oh, the previous person did this, the previous person did that. So, and when you keep doing that, it waters down the effect of, or to find the true solution to what the problem is, So you have a situation like this, and the first attempt, so to speak, is to mobilize partisan, or some people are associated or sympathizers of a particular political party, just to, cause some sort of chaos and anarchy and all of that stuff. And I think it's all to court sympathy. It's all politics. Just so it will paint the other party or the which party is in government black in the eyes of the general public, Like I mentioned earlier, when that happens, it makes us not look at what the real issues are. So yes, there might be some legitimate concerns. I am aware that the arrest or the issue surrounding Dennis Abuaji was as a result of a petition that was presented to the current executive secretary. So if he has assumed the reins of our administration and feels perhaps after cross-checking their books, something is off and has petitioned the appropriate authorities, I think we need to give room for state institutions to be able to function and be effective in providing solutions to whatever the matters are. Because if we keep going on this route, there's no end in sight. It becomes, we just dabble in all these politics, and the long term hurts us as a people.
Right.
So I think it is high time it's funny, but in as much as I'm saying this, practically I'm also wondering how realistic is it, can we as a people to decouple, politics or our loyalty to party, and put national issues, before us.
I personally think the three things that Ghanaians have come to be too passionate about: our religion, our football, and our politics.
Exactly. If we could channel the same energy to national issues or issues that would, in the long run be beneficial to us as a people, I think we wouldn't be where we are.
Right.
The issue of people protesting at state institutions, I think there should be some sense of discipline. You can't just show up at a state and just do anything. It shouldn't. In fact, I feel like the political parties should be able to.
No, but even the parliamentarians lead them. They go sit on the floor and they cross their legs and lead them.
It's appalling, so to speak. It's appalling.
Rashid, do we not think we've gotten to the time where, as political parties, as leaders, as people who shape public opinion, we need to let people know the difference between allegations and proven criminal conduct? Because when you read social media, the interpretation of the statement from Iroko is somebody has stolen 55 million, and then they are calling people thieves and all those things on social media. Does it not behove on us to when we are crafting our press statements and the rest, to let it be known that these are allegations and they are not proven criminal conducts?
The onus lies on my brother's counsel, Afokwa, and his group to educate their gullible supporters. He says the people they brought there, in fact, they were rented young men and women. There are videos, I can give it to you. Some of them didn't even know why they were there. Some said they were promised 150 Ghana cedis to come there and then shout. They didn't even know what they were shouting for. I'm surprised at their behavior. Why they continue this path? You did that and got about 38.2% in the last general election. And they are continuing the same path, renting young guys, gullible people, to come and shout. They don't even know why they were there. You see, that's the unfortunate aspect of it. But you see, the situation that you have found yourself, you are talking about, you need to be educated. They need to do that. They started the stealers. You remember the word I told you? They coined the word stealers. And the money is big. Oh, they started it. They started all these kind of things. That the politics of branding people thieves before even they start prosecuting their issue started by MPP politicians. As far back in the 90s, look, I remember in 1996, the election we went, at that time, we had this their group known as the Great Alliance. It was made up of CPP and then MPP joined together to fight the NDC. In the 1996 election, we were very active at that time. If you heard what their forebears were doing, the names they were calling NDC appointees at that time. So I'm not surprised. They started all these kind of things. They enjoyed it and all that, but we will not do that. You see, and the most interesting aspect is this, that if you look at my brother, Council Yafawa, he ran away from the 55 million. He has not made any statement about the 50. He was just talking about the arrest, the bail bond and the arrest. You see that he classically, in fact, I'll call it a classico. He ran away from talking about the 55 million. He dwelled all his days. No. That's why I'm saying that we are talking of state resources.
But nothing.
It's an allegation. Look, it's an allegation, though, but the content involved. It's an allegation. It's an allegation. We are all alleging. Listen, it's an allegation.
You are like.
And the UFO is very clear about it.
When I was introducing you, I introduced you as you are the CEO of the GIFEC. Now you know what audit means.
Listen.
You added that one.
Yes. No, I just want to talk about. You know what audit means. No, let me land.
Yes.
You know what audit means. Audit simply means they've picked what probably a budget has said, what a policy has said, and seen what actually you have done. They see a gap and they say explain. It does not mean somebody has taken anything until it is proven. It is because maybe it could have been that you got an approval to go spend 10 million. When they check, you spend 12 million. You just have to come and explain. How did you spend that extra 2? Did you get an exceptional approval? So it doesn't necessarily mean something has been stolen.
Do you know what we call exit conference after audit?
Yes. Yes, but we've not seen the exit.
That's what I'm saying. See, so this your narrative doesn't hold. It's a different ball game. Well, we are not talking about this one. Is not about the audit that they are talking of. My brother was trying to introduce an extraneous issues into the matter. Talking about the 500,000. We are not talking about 500,000. We are talking about 55 million Ghana cedis. That is how they water down matters of this nature. So 500,000, because of 500,000, they should go and arrest the gentleman. Yoko should be interrogating him and all this kind of matter and put it in a paper for you to come and access to analyze it. That is not the matter we are talking about. They were trying to water down the whole matter. That is not it. I'm saying that, look, this is not the first time they are doing. Look, I was an officer of YE as of 2016. When we left office in 2017, they came in. Yoko invited us. I was in Yoko for 24 hours. Being interrogated. My stewardship as a director of NYE. Finally, they released me. No adverse finding, nothing. So we should go with my other colleagues.
You know, apologize.
NDC, apologize. I'm saying the NDC did not amass people. Nobody. Not even one person came to that.
I don't want to go into those issues.
No, I'm saying that this one, the YE matter.
It's just 30 seconds, so let's go on.
No, the YE matter.
The YE matter.
If you want me to go into it, I'll go into it.
Oh, we can go into the matter.
No, we are not.
No, we can go into
it. We are not discussing
that one. I'm telling you, we'll bring the
matter that involves Tanko. If you want me to go into it,
we are not discussing. We are not discussing why it is Tanko matter.
And we left. I continue to work
so
in
end
YE.
on that one, so let me go
Listen,
to Afakwa.
I
need
continue
take a
to
quick break.
work in YE until 2025 when I got disappointed. He didn't know what he's talking about. Maybe he's talking of some different matter. I continue to work in
So
YE.
working in YE up to 2025.
Until 2025.
So even when MPP was in power,
When they
you
were
were
in
working-
power, I was still working in YE. That's why he still doesn't understand what he's talking about.
Right.
He's talking of different matter.
Okay.
Are you getting it? So we are saying that as a public officer, don't run away from this thing, investigation of your stewardship as Council Powers talk. It's part of parcel of it. I have been in public service for some time now, previously and now, and I've seen it. I've been investigated, went to offices, went and answered questions on. So long as you accept to work, why you want to come in some 32 years time? By that time, I would have been an old man. And
But you
to
call
be
to
in
account.
office. Oh, how can you investigate an 82-year-old man? He said that would by that time, I'm 15 now.
Rashid,
If
thank you.
you add 32 years, that would be about 82 years. How can
Just
you at that
two,
time?
2 minutes so I can move. Go for I gave you 2 minutes. I'm the one time. It's not your time, Afakwa. Allow me to use my clock the way I want to use my clock. Thank you, Afakwa. As a lawyer, please educate us. Does denying wrongdoing publicly in any way strengthen or weaken a person's case?
Not the presumption of innocence under the 1920s. A person is presumed innocent until he has pleaded guilty or has been proven guilty.
Of course.
So it's
a
sacred constitutional provision that cannot be breached. In terms of partisanship, that is why the current system is using the court of public opinion to convict and sentence people even before they have their day in court. You remember the Rambo in the Rambo by the Attorney General and those kinds of things. What is the effect of that today? So, it is a worrying trend. It's a worrying trend, indeed a worrying trend. You see, when Uncle mentioned that the people that got 38.2%, you know why GTech is working harder today? The pronouncement of some perceived academics calls that, if this person holds this certificate, then with this pronouncement, then let's go and investigate whether the person had it genuinely or not. That is why most of the NDC appointees were caught by GTech. The published results of the 2024 elections, which is uncontested, on the website of the Electoral Commission, the Dr. Baumia secured 38.2%. So if any sane person,
it's not what you collect.
Then
this is the official hub we take.
It's baffling.
We also collected.
It's baffling. So you declared your results.
We have our results.
No, you declared. It's your result that you declared that made President Mahama president-elect of the Republic of Ghana.
We defend the EC.
You are a CEO. You are deputy director elections.
So
and I'm worried.
I have a figure.
I'm worried that with all your knowledge, with all your knowledge, you were made deputy but not the substantive. You see, it's a worrying trend. Let me go on. Let me go on with my submission. In the matter of Dennis Miracle, he's contesting that why are we not discussing the 55 million? I have challenged Yoko to put out the videos of the interrogation of Dennis Miracle. It's a challenge. Because he has come out publicly to deny the official publication of Yoko. So if he has denied it, that he was not interrogated on 55 million, he has not been charged on any matter related to 55 million before a court. It's a bare allegation.
But you know, what Miracle said does not entirely mean that he's not being investigated on 55. He's saying that the period that he was detained, there was no discussion. It does not mean the previous engagement. No. There's not been discussion about 55 million.
No.
So let's put
the lawyer for, what's the accountancy, what's the name?
Gerald, yeah.
Put out that Gerald during interrogation never mentioned the miracles about you, or never did he indict these miracles. Again, you see, the good thing is that I have had cause to represent clients before Yoko, interrogation, BNI and other state security institutions, and that matters that happen within interrogations are considered sacred. You don't bring it out until final charge or whatever, if they are fortified per their investigative outcomes to go to court. Then you go and contest that in court.
Right.
But if during interrogation or during investigations, Yoko comes out publicly, and we know the standing of official publication, because Yoko is established by an act of parliament. So whatever they put out is presumed to be regular. I have elucidly discussed that on this platform this morning.
that once they put out an official publication coming from a statutory body like Yoko, it was presumed to be regular. When I read it, I was in Obuasi when I read the Yoko publication with regards to the 55. Some alleged 55 million Ghana cedis, upon which Dennis Miragos Abadi was arrested and was cautioned on conspiracy to steal and what, including money laundering and those charges. The gentleman, after securing his liberty, came out and also published that he was neither interrogated on any 55 million Ghana cedis. He did not take us to what happened during interrogation, but he was bold to put out. You see, when an accused, a suspect or a person of interest is bold to put out, challenge the investigative authority who he is before, then it shows the credibility of the person that yes, the person believes in his innocence. Right. If not, you will not have the balls to come out publicly because you know, if you are indicted, you know within your spirit and yourself, Powers is here, he's a lawyer. My brother Nee is here, he's a lawyer. You will not even allow your client to even go out to make any pronouncement. But the gentleman was bold to contest the publication of Yoko, that he was neither interrogated on the 55 million. Why must I come and speak on any 55 million Ghana cedis here? If you indeed he has any question to answer, he is still before Yoko. One granted bail, investigations are still ongoing. Let us know the outcomes. But we are challenging Yoko. That Yoko should not be a political tool to which hunt perceived political opponents.
Okay.
That is what we are calling for.
Thank you.
And indeed.
Your 2 minutes is up.
Oh, it's not up.
Oh. It's
not up. Is it,
round up and then come to
what is happening in this country? They are mentioning accountability. What is accountability? Accountability is in the handing over notes.
Counts for your stewardship.
It's in the handing over notes. Do you account your stewardship at Yoko and BNI and police service? No. But if you think that some wrongdoings have occasioned during the stewardship of the said person, it is there that you take the person, you hold the person before investigative bodies to answer questions and those kind of things. But their mantra, come and account for your stewardship. Are there no handing over notes for them to go through?
Thank you. Powers.
What is the accountability they ask them?
Powers, your last on this week.
That Tanko account to Yoko and BNI for his stewardship as CEO.
He said when the table stand, he will do that. And he said by that time he will be 80.
I'll be 82 years.
Yes.
Even if let me tell them, Kojo, when he's even dead, they will assume the body, try the body, convict and sentence the body.
Now you are okay. Just 2 minutes, so I can take a quick break.
Quick one. We support the government on Operation Recover All Loot. It's a sacred responsibility which must be undertaken. It is one promise that I supported and still support. But we must be able to address the excesses and sometimes the lies. Because you remember even that Attorney General came out to say that the total sum that the oral committee estimated to be recoverable is not true. Yeah. So we must be able to manage expectations. And you see, the downfall of this government will be because of the way they undertake ORA. Because it is one of their major campaign promises, the basis of which I can tell you that a number of Ghanaians voted for them. Because for once, Ghanaians thought public accountability, or we are being ushered into the new era of public accountability. But the way they are going about the ORA, I shudder to say, I'm even scared for them. Because being riddled with inaccuracies, riddled with falsehood, and even the way it's being done. Recover what can be recovered, and what cannot be recovered. Let's deal with those matters in the court of competent jurisdiction. And the government has taken some steps, which steps I support to ensure that we eradicate or minimally reduce or remove corruption. And if you want to address it in a comprehensive manner, we must be able to also revise the Yoko architecture. The Yoko CEO must not be appointed by a politician. The president must not appoint the Yoko CEO. If you want Yoko to be independent, to undertake an independent work, to be an impartial umpire, to preside over either the two dominating political parties or any other third force that will come up, Yoko must be headed by an independent individual.
Right.
So that we know that Yoko will cut both ways. Otherwise, Yoko will only be there for the opposition appointees and not those in power.
Right. Thank you. We'll be taking a quick break. Once we return from the break, we'll be looking at the tribunal, the bill that was passed. We would go through it, and whatever lessons we want to learn, we will find out from the New Patriotic Party why they are not agreeing to it through their minority, and then also what the lawyers think of the tribunal. Please stay tuned. When we come back, also we'll read your messages that you sent before we start the second topic. We'll be right back after this break.
Stay safe. The National Petroleum Authority is cautioning the public to desist from scooping or fetching fuel from overturned fuel tankers at accident scenes. Do not get closer to the scene in an attempt to take videos or pictures. Inhaling the petroleum product is detrimental to your health. Worst of all, petroleum products are volatile and highly flammable, and a small spark can trigger a catastrophic explosion, causing deaths and loss of property. Call the Ghana Fire Service or Ghana Police personnel to handle the scene, or reach the National Petroleum Authority's contact center on 0302 550 380. Your life is worth more than a gallon of fuel. This Save a Life campaign is from the National Petroleum Authority.
From the heart of Africa we stand, building dreams across the land. Every step we take aside, helping you rise, taking you higher. Strong as a group, close as a partner. Bank of Africa lifting you higher. African Bank with global reach. BOA make your future glow. Strong as a group, close as a partner. Bank of Africa lifting you higher. African Bank with global reach. BOA make your future glow. BOA, we go there for you night and day. Strong as a group, close as a partner. Bank of Africa lifting you higher.
Bank of Africa, as strong as a group, as close as a partner.
So welcome back from the break. This is Current Agenda, your most authoritative news analysis and your Saturday morning companion, proudly sponsored by the Bank of Ghana, Bank of Africa and the NPA. Hey, but people are looking at me when I mention Bank of Africa. Right, let me read a few messages. Right after the messages, we would have a clip showing the passing of the bill. So this viewer says that now the youth of Ghana, our eyes are open, and this chronic illnesses of politicians is becoming too wide. Politicians should stop hiring addicts for demonstrations. Most of those that were interviewed, none of them spoke sensibly. So they should send a signal to the leader that none of the well-educated youth will follow these unlawful acts. Okay. He said if the guy has misused public fund, then he should be held responsible and account to the good citizen of Ghana. So he said his name is Young Boy with Sharp Teeth. That's an interesting name. I'll read just a few. Good morning to you and your indefatigable crew. Yoko is just using the public institution to harass the opposition. The statement of Yoko put down doesn't add up. Yoko, with all the information and gadgets in their position, couldn't be able to know that Abuaje is traveling. Then we are doomed. Okay, thank you for that one. I'll read 2 more, then I'll leave. Okay, this one says, good morning, Kojo. Please, we should not think only about the suspect's human rights and leave out the poor citizens that hustle so hard to pay our taxes and give to them with political appointment. They use their pens to allegedly squander this huge amount of money. This is Elijah from Koforidua Technical University. I'll read one last one, then I would go for the insert. He said, good morning. Please, you guys should talk about the well-being of the citizens, Kakra. Some of us are casual workers in the government sector like hospitals with HND, and our salary is as low as 700 Ghana cedis a month. Please, a whole lot is happening to we the citizens who don't have a degree, and some remain with that amount of salary till pension. Please address this issue for us. It's really heartbreaking. We deserve a controller payroll after 2 years of being a casual worker. Thank you. This is
go to the 133 Secretariat.
From Akosombo.
The 24-hour Secretariat is
in
there.
Akosombo. There are a lot more, but then because of time, we will not be able to read. We'll read them as and when it goes on. But let's watch the video showing the passing of the tribunal bill. Right after that, we'll come in studio for the lawyers and law students to discuss it. So let's have the video.
An act to provide for the establishment, jurisdiction, composition, and operation of tribunals in accordance with the Constitution, establish the Tribunal Oversight Committee, and for related matters.
Honourable members, the Tribunal Bill 2026 is now duly read for the 3rd time and passed. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank members for their perseverance. We are now officially in Friday. So it means that members sat since yesterday actually doing a 24-hour economy work and have passed a bill that is a major commitment of the National Democratic Congress.
Exercise. Is to create a system where people would be pronounced guilty even before their case is properly determined. No established procedure of ensuring fairness. And it is not only the minority that is complaining. Today, organized labor has come out loudly to re-echo its position on this matter, that we don't need a tribunal system in our country anymore. Tribunal system, we know what happened in the PNDC era, where people were targeted, assets were seized, and those people who claimed they were tribunal members enriched themselves. We know that record of the NDC, their predecessor, PNDC. So we, the minority, have left the chamber because the majority leader decided to shut the door. In Parliament, we believe that in all situations of disagreement, there must be a window to discuss, to raise the concerns. But once the majority leader makes a strong pronouncement that whatever the case, they will not listen.
Okay, welcome back. So, Ni, we are hearing tribunals bill. People are asking what it is. So, tell us, just summarize it for us. What is all this about?
Okay. So basically, the tribunal bill that has generated all this debate is essentially a new bill to set up some adjudicating bodies other than the conventional courts that we have to more or less supplement the current court system as a way of helping facilitate the justice delivery system. And if you've paid attention, you would also note that one of the arguments being made to justify this tribunal bill is because of backlogs and the delay in the justice delivery system. So personally, I think the debate, over this tribunal bill is essentially a tension, so to speak, between historical experience and constitutional implementation. And this emphasis on the historical experience, I believe that has culminated in the perceived apprehension as far as the new bill is concerned. And so for us to fully understand or appreciate the apprehension and of course the rationale behind the new bill, we may have to look at the evolution of the current tribunal bill. The history of public tribunals is closely linked to the country's constitutional and political evolution, particularly during the PNDC era. Because that was when the whole system of tribunals emanated. And I think the first one was established under the Public Tribunals Law, PNDC Law 24. It was later modified by PNDC Law 28. And
78.
78, yes, sorry. And they were introduced as an alternative to the justice delivery mechanism to address certain concerns and challenges that the conventional court system at the time were saddled with. And some of these challenges included slow and overly technical systems, inaccessible to ordinary citizens. Because there was also a perception that it was perceived to favor the elite. So that was the basis for the public tribunals at the time. It was not free from criticisms. And so despite that positive objectives, these public tribunals, quickly became controversial, so to speak. And the critics argue that they lacked judicial independence. They were susceptible to executive and political influence, sometimes failed to observe due process, became associated with politically sensitive, matters. And rather than prosecuting, they were persecuting. So if you listen to the minority, or one of the objections they raised that we saw them working out, is rooted in this historical experience. Because they feel it will get to the point where the tribunal system, rather than being an alternative to fast-track cases and all of that, could be a political tool that could be used for political witch hunts. The question then remains, is it about constitutionality or whether this new bill is going to have, some, if you like, contain some sufficient institutional safeguards to ensure that they function as independent, as impartial, and as right-respecting courts. I agree with the rationale, because if you look at our current court systems, we have a lot of backlogs. You go to court as one adjournment after the other. You go to court today, the next adjournment is about a month away, sometimes two. There was an instance where I think I was in court in July. No, not July. May. And the next court date is already in the next legal year, in October. So you have clients getting worried, getting concerned as to how their cases or matters could be expedited.
Right.
So to a large extent, I understand or I appreciate the concern of bringing in, these new tribunals.
Right.
And again, I mentioned that it's not a matter of constitutionality because the Constitution, I think Article 142, gives room for these regional tribunals.
Right.
But they've been dormant for a while now. So my concern is not about whether it's legal. It's backed by the Constitution. But by implementing these new tribunals, will it achieve the purpose it seeks to achieve? Have we considered other alternatives that can be done rather than spending money and establishing, all these alternative tribunals?
Right.
If you pay close attention to our current system,
and you end on that note for me, so
yes, for me, I think it's more of an administrative, issue as far as the judicial system is concerned that can be addressed. You could consider some digitalization processes. There's too many bureaucratic stuff going on. I think recently the Chief Justice, if I'm not mistaken, even attempted to set aside some high courts to prosecute certain particular matters.
Yes.
This is an example of how the current court system or conventional court system could address certain matters in an expedited manner so it doesn't result in backlogs. So I feel we should not be in a haste to say that the only way to address issues pertaining to the delay in the justice delivery system or backlogs is to necessarily set up, a tribunal.
Right.
And one last point to be made. I have gone through, the memorandum, the bill. And one concern I have personally has to do with the composition of the bill. I mean, the members of the tribunal, where it says that there's only one qualified legal personnel and then the other members being lay members. I have a bit of a challenge there because, you see, one good underlying principle as far as cases are concerned has to do with judicial precedence. If you have members of the panel being lay members, you need to set down certain precedent in a way that can be used in similar cases. So if you have lay members who, excuse me to say, are not legal practitioners or have a very low appreciation of the law, the way they might handle or address a particular case, there's going to be an issue of inconsistencies to subsequent cases. And precedent is key to ensure fairness and all of that. And then again, the memorandum also goes on to talk about the fact that the appointment of the chairman will be made by the president, of course, acting on the advice of the Judicial Council. And if the president is going to be appointing a chairman who is going to be a legal, there's also the issue of loyalty or fidelity. Is it loyalty to party or fidelity to justice or fidelity to the law? So for me, these are the concerns that I have. So in as much as the rationale is to ensure that the justice delivery system is expedited or to, I think we may have to look at it holistically and consider, can't we have any other way, or is this the only way that we can go about it?
Okay, thank you. Rashid, can't we have any other way? I mean, in the wake of is it 24-hour economy? Could we not have, because if it's all about being able to move cases faster, and we already have existing courts, and we are talking about 24-hour economy, could we not have empowered already existing courts to, if we have to do night and all those things, so we can be able to fast track all these things? Did we need to set up a whole new put together a whole new act and bring in tribunals just to move cases?
Well, the first thing we need to ask ourselves is, we have the 1992 Constitution. What Parliament passed, is it constitutional or unconstitutional? That's the question we should be asking our legal brains here. Is it constitutional or unconstitutional? Go and read the memorandum supporting the bill. It's very clear. You see, our brothers everywhere, any opportunity they get, they want to do propaganda. You see, they should move away from this kind of antics that is not helping them. The Constitution is very clear about regional tribunals. Very, very clear about it. The fact that it has not been implemented over the years doesn't mean that what we have done is unconstitutional. This is the narrative they are trying to push out there. As if we are bringing what happened. Look, the tribunals that happened under the PNDs is not what is going to happen right now. You see, they are playing with words. Because there was tribunals under the PNDC, and the Constitution talk about tribunals now. It's the same tribunal. It's not the same. You are talking of the revolutionary era. That was a revolutionary military junta that put up a tribunal to handle. You know how military they do their things. This one we are talking of under the constitutional dispensation. And look, I wanted a briefing from my seniors here. There is a correlation between the tribunal so established and then the other judicial courts that is already in operation. And it's very clear. I'm going to refer you to the aspect of the relationship between the tribunals and the judicial system. That is under administration of the tribunals. The tribunal shall function as part of the judicial system.
Which page are you reading, please?
That is that one is under administration of the tribunals.
So that's 5, under the
6.
Okay.
5-6. You'll see that a tribunal shall function as part of the judicial system of the country, and B, collaborate with other judicial bodies to ensure consistency in the administration of the justice system. A decision of a tribunal is subject to appellate review. Have you seen that? That a decision of a tribunal is subject to what? Appellate review in accordance with this act. So if a regional tribunal, and they say a regional tribunal is bound by a decision of the what? The High Court. And this in the Court of Appeal. Have you seen that? And then the Supreme Court. So where from this noise? And you go down, District Tribunal is bound by a decision of what? The High Court, the Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court. Where from this noise? Where from this noise? Did we have that under the PADCL? There was nothing like that. So why are they warning Ghanaians with this kind of propaganda? Everywhere they go, they do propaganda. This one is going to help the system, clear up the backlog. And look, let's come down to the preamble. I'm going to show you some aspects. The Constitution makes very clear that laymen should participate in the judicial system. Our Constitution is very clear about that. Even in the when you are dealing with jury, trial by jury, don't we go and bring teachers and other people to come and sit as jury? Are they lawyers? Trial by jury, they are here to ask them. They are officers of the court. Don't we bring retired teachers, practicing teachers? Sometimes you even bring chiefs, opinion leaders to come as juries and decide on a matter before a judge can pronounce somebody guilty or not. So because the Constitution made room of this, we are aware of a time to come that, look, that is why they say there's a statement that I read on that aspect when I was looking at the memorandum supporting this bill. It's one of the beautiful things that has happened to this country. Under 2, Roman number 2, to buttress the need to have a legal framework for tribunals in Ghana, the Constitution under Clause 1 of Article 125 provides that justice emanates, listen, from the people and shall be administered in the name of the Republic by the judiciary, which shall be independent and subject only to this Constitution. Similarly, Clause 2 of Article 125 provides for citizens to exercise popular participation in the administration of justice through the institution of public and customary tribunals and the jury and assessor system, where are they coming from? Is it not in the constitution? What is the constitution? They should delineate. You see, so they do propaganda, and because they are clouded with law, they know this thing. Bring it down to the layman, to the ordinary people. Explain this one to the ordinary people. What does that mean? What does that mean? Why is NPP doing this to Ghanaians? And they go and bring PNDC matter. When they talk and the PNDC and everything. Are we under military? Are we not under constitutional dispensation?
Right.
Democratic dispensation.
Right.
And look at the beautiful sections 6.5 talked about the relationship, the tribunals and the appellate court. If you misbehave at the tribunal, you think that that's the end of it. If you misbehave at the district tribunal, the High Court is there.
Right.
If you misbehave at the regional tribunal, that's why the appeal court is there, the Supreme Court is there. They should tone down this propaganda.
Tone down.
Allow the system to work. It's in the constitution, the tribunal, the constitution talk about the tribunal is there. We are just bringing it back to life by bringing this bill. I am so happy. Ghanaians should be happy. The officers of the court, Afoka and my seniors here, they should be happy that this thing is coming.
Your
It's
4
going to
minutes
strengthen
is
our
up.
judicial
Your 4
system.
minutes is up. Thank you, Powers. Rashid Tanko says we should be happy because the constitution is being brought to life. I'm sure you are happy.
Could you? Everybody must be happy.
Okay.
And the reason is simple. In fact, I think we miss an opportunity to fashion out a very solid and formidable legal architecture to govern the tribunal system. By reason of the working out of the minority, they stole or they deny Ghanaians an opportunity to draft a very strong document, legal document. We must understand that the past cannot continue to hold us as slaves. We recite the past to predict the future, but the past cannot be the basis to reject or oppose the tribunal system. And as Tanko articulated, when you look at Article 126, it is apparent that the tribunal is part of the Superior Court of Judicature. And could you let me read to you what the Committee of Experts, those who proposed the 1992 Constitution, said in paragraph 267 of their report. And they said, it is therefore the considered opinion of this committee that the public tribunals cannot be retained in their present form. The committee considered whether to integrate the public tribunals into the existing traditional court structure or to retain them, but subject to the supervisory jurisdiction of the Superior Court. After careful consideration, the committee opted for full integration as the most effective way for assuring the above-mentioned constitutional principles. The committee believes that this is the right and proper approach. Now, with this conclusion, the committee sought to integrate the tribunal system within our traditional court system. This is why when you read Article 126, it captures the regional tribunal as part of the Superior Court of Judicature. So the past that we are seeking to walk away from, the Constitution has done that smartly. So the Tribunal Bill, which is now law, the Tribunal Act, which is yet to be signed to become an act, 2026, is in furtherance of the constitutional provision.
Right.
So I'm saying that I understand that the TUC and the minority have legitimate concerns. In fact, they have legitimate concerns to complain. And it was a responsibility of the government to douse their complaints. In fact, to address their complaints. Because people had issues. They are afraid that there could be a repeat of the past. What must a sitting government do? Douse their fears, disabuse their minds, let them know that there are no concerns. There are no fears. Don't be afraid. Because reading the bill, I can see an attempt to answer the question, but it is not comprehensive. Because when you look at Section 6, which Tanko referenced, we talk about who deals with the relationship between the traditional court system as well as the tribunal, and you look at Section 11, which governs the appointment of the chairman of the tribunal as well as the members. You know that the president appoints the chairman and the chief justice appoints the members
in consultation with the Regional Coordinating Council and the Judicial Council. So you could see an attempt to address the fears of the minority, the TUC, and other well-meaning Ghanaians. But, Kojo, here's where I say the minority deny Ghanaians opportunity for us to fashion a formidable legal architecture to govern. When you look at the tribunal bill passed by Parliament, there are so many issues, major issues, but I'll run you through a few because of time.
Yeah.
Kojo, when you look at the proposed section 16, it deals with the jurisdiction of the regional tribunal. And shockingly, the provision says that the regional tribunal shall have concurrent jurisdiction with the High Court on all criminal matters. That is dangerous. Concurrent jurisdiction. When you read Article 146, there's no indication. The Constitution is clear that the High Court has jurisdiction in all matters. All matters. Then when it comes to the regional tribunal, the Constitution was clear that the regional tribunal shall have jurisdiction on these matters. When you look at 142, it's so scary. When you look at 143, it says a regional tribunal shall have jurisdiction to try such offences against the state and the public interest as Parliament may by law prescribe. So there's prescribe. It didn't say give them an empty bus to go onto the street and load anybody. It says prescribe. Then in section 16, you are saying that they should have concurrent jurisdiction. It means that whatever cases the High Court can try, they can also try civil. That is wrong. It's a major problem. Then you look at section 19, it says jurisdiction of the district tribunal, and the district tribunal has concurrent jurisdiction with the circuit courts. Problematic. Beyond encouraging forum shopping, you create an inconsistent application of the law. Bear in mind, the tribunals will be made up of party lawyers, and a majority of the membership are non-lawyers or could be non-lawyers. And you are giving them concurrent jurisdiction with the traditional court. That is scary. I was expecting the minority to have debated this bill so that we will address some of these issues.
We will not debate it.
Kojo, when you look at section 22,
they should pass it.
Section 22 is also most dangerous provision. It says where a matter is before, where a matter could be determined by the tribunal and the traditional court.
Section
22.
23.
22, check 22. Concurrent jurisdiction.
Concurrent jurisdiction with other courts and limitations.
Yes. It says where a matter could be determined by the tribunal and the traditional court. The tribunal must hear the case. What kind of arrangement is this? The tribunal, which has no jurisprudence, which is yet to build a body of jurisprudence, should hear a matter that could be determined by either the tribunal or the traditional court. That is dangerous. And just one more, because
I'll end with Afua.
In fact, one more, because I have a lot of.
I know.
Because I've done. In fact, I've distilled. I've gone through the act when it was initially proposed, and I've distilled some of the inconsistencies, which I was hoping even the TUC should have been minded to suggest. See, on this table, my position has always been, let us see ways we can reform, rather than criticize. Because criticism has proven not to yield any fruit in this country. When you criticize without any reformation or any suggestion, that's an empty talk.
True.
Last one, Kojo. When you look at section 36.6, it says the accused person shall not amend their defense so as to add onto or alter the defense to the charges made. What is this?
You don't amend your defense.
Yes. What is this? That is in flagrant disregard of Article 19 of the 1992 Constitution. Fair trial.
Breach of fair trial.
And the Constitution is clear. An accused person must be given adequate facility to advance his.
They are trying to take me off.
So,
and
the minority deny Ghanaians an opportunity to fashion out.
And they should give us extension of time.
A credible bill. And that is on them.
Ababa. Yeah. Kojo, it is a worrying trend. And that, let's pay tribute to the memories of Justice Pokusa Akodie, Justice Isiya Akrantiado, and Justice Kojo Ejie Japon, who lost their lives on the night of 30th June 1982.
What kind of correlation has it got to do?
The monument sitting at the precinct of the Supreme Court of Ghana has a historical antecedent. And it was as a result of some of these things, the tribunal system, that culminated into parallel judicial administration in Ghana that led to the assassination of these three eminent jurists of our land. When you read the judgments of Justice Isiya Akrantiado, you love it. On judicial notice, you love it, the language, the flair, everything. But she was assassinated because